You're listening to Nick Luck Daily. This edition is brought to you by Timeform, your trusted source for racing data and analysis. By Total Performance Data, the global leader in live horse racing data. This edition is also brought to you by FitzDares, laying some of the world's largest sporting wagers since 1882. Hi everyone, good morning. I hope you are enjoying our podcast this week, live from the gallops down here at Cheltenham. And Wednesday morning has dawned, and it's much brighter and we're quite warm now as we check in with the man who was the hero of yesterday. Paul Townend has won another champion hurdle, this time on Lossiemouth, her fourth consecutive victory at the Cheltenham Festival, putting her in the pantheon of festival legends, really. Hello, good morning, well done.
Thank you, yeah. Good to get on the board yesterday, important. She got me out of trouble at the last, probably, but we give her an extra pat for that.
You're closing in quite fast on Barry Geraghty at the top of that all-time Cheltenham Jockeys leaderboard. You could get to him by the end of the week if you keep it up at this rate.
Maybe. We'll see. We've a long way to go yet. It's hard to get any winner here, so what are we, 4 or 5 still behind Barry, so we won't be looking at that just yet. But if we have a good week, we might get close to it, yeah.
So many special moments, but you know that there's some races that are just more important than others, and the champion hurdle is one of those. Where did it feature for you amongst the sort of moments that put the biggest smile on your face? How was yesterday?
Big, yeah, very big. I thought the reception she got was as big a reception I've ever rode a horse in on here, which was brilliant for her and nice to be part of. But yeah, look, I suppose people have seen her here plenty, and she's given everyone brilliant days here so many times that the public are really taking to her.
How soon did you know or think that it was a real going day?
To be honest, when she got over here, I was delighted with her. I sat in her one of the mornings here and I was happy with her. And when Niamh asked me to get up in her, it was a good sign that she was pulling her arms out and going to the start. And she just felt more alive in herself, and the makeup of the race as it panned out couldn't have worked out better.
Do you think it's just the cheek pieces, or do you think it's being here, or just the fact that she's just feeling well in herself?
I'd say it's probably a bit of everything. She definitely does grow a hand when she comes here. She loves it here. But I suppose working her at home, I thought the cheek pieces had just sparked her up a little bit. And maybe she just needed them at home. Maybe the work was done then, but there were no harm to have on yesterday either.
I mean, she's properly killed him for a turn of foot, hasn't she?
She has, yeah. Like, it isn't too often you're going to the second last and she starts running away with you in the champion hurdle. So to ride any horse and things go as simply as it did yesterday is a pleasure, and it's even better on the biggest hurdle race of the year.
This fella you've got here, he's sort of keen to just sort of trample all over us and get on with it, but he's only 4. He's queering. He's a good type of horse for a 4-year-old.
He's a different type of 4-year-old, I think, coming for the race. He's trained by Willie Mullins, so Willie does things Willie's way and no one else's. So that's the positive I'm taking of it. They tell me 4-year-olds are bad in it, but it's the weight allowance. He's not your typical 4-year-old pint horse or anything, so we'll see. We'll give it a crack.
I mean, he's a tallish horse, but he's quite athletic.
He's athletic, all right, yeah. No, he's a bonny horse. He's a lovely horse. I think he's mature enough for the race, so we'll see.
Is he actually the one you wanted to ride?
I was happy to ride him. Yeah, definitely happy to ride him. I wouldn't have ridden them a whole lot at home or anything. However hard I find it to judge the novices, what improving Patrick's job is next to impossible. So I take my hat off to him getting it right year after year, but hopefully he got it wrong this year. Well, he mightn't have. He couldn't do the weight in this lad.
I saw Rich Ritchie last night, and it's on the Champion Hurdle Gold Cup double for him and for you. And I didn't realise no owner has ever won them both in the same year.
No, it's news to me as well.
It wasn't news to him.
So
we're trying to eat my microphone.
Patrick has him well talked up for the Gold Cup anyway, but no, he's in good form, and the King George form is solid. He backed it up in Leopardstown, and I'm looking forward to him. Yeah.
It's funny, is it? He's gone from being sort of quite the most unpredictable horse in training to the most predictable in a sense. And he's pretty consistent now.
He's consistent now, yeah. He's like us all. He's growing up and maturing.
I think you've always been pretty grown up and mature, haven't you? I don't know. Maybe not. And today, most looking forward to?
Look, I suppose stop now. Stop it. It's going to be a tough day today. I think Etait Temps is coming in under the radar just on the back of one poor run.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
look forward to that. Thank you, Paul, for your patience. Thank you, Quirin, for your patience. He wants to get on with it, this horse.
Thanks, Nick.
Top man, cheers. What a nice horse he is too. There we are. Could he be winning the bumper later? That's not impossible, is it? Paul Townend was the hero of yesterday, as he has been for so long. You just got that sense, didn't you, that there was something about Lossiemouth yesterday that just he really enjoyed that. And you can get blasé, can't you, about all the festival winners you ride if you've won 4 Gold Cups and everything else. But I sensed a very deep appreciation for what she did. So I hope you'll agree that's a kind of lovely way to start off day 2 here at the festival. We're down here now with Gavin Cromwell. He's got a very busy day today, very busy day for Friday, a little bit quieter tomorrow. But yesterday, Gavin, you had a couple of horses run incredibly well. Particularly Will the Wise, who I think just ran into one in Madara. How much did that encourage you for the rest of the week?
Yeah, good. Absolutely. And Union Station ran well. And listen, all ALA fell, but too far out. And it was. It's always good when they run well. And we won the Leinster National on Sunday as well, which is always encouraging.
So it augurs well for the rest of the week.
Yeah, happy with the horses now. They're all in good nick. So hopefully.
I suppose in terms of profile today, the cross country is going to be the race that most people will focus on because Stumptown's an absolute legend. He loves it here. His win in the Part of Beach made him a sort of international star as well. Have you got him where you want him?
Yeah, he's in good form. Yeah, great. Probably would appreciate a little bit more of an ease in the ground. He's all about stamina. Where final orders will love the ground. So that should bring about improvement for him. He's had a little wind up since his last run as well. So
okay, and Vanillier is the horse everybody's been talking about coming into the festival. In fact, should they have been concentrating on final orders?
Possibly. Little concern with the ground for Vanillier. Just that, he's slow. He was an Albert Bartlett winner. He's been slow all his life, and he's not getting quicker at 11 years of age. Although when he won the Albert Bartlett, I know he's slow, but he didn't look that slow. If you see what I mean. No,
he travelled, didn't he? He travelled away.
Yeah, he did. In fairness, he did. But listen, that's a while ago too. He's in great form. He's coming into this off the back of a win in Punchestown over the banks, and I think he will run very well.
Okay, today you've also got Now Is the Hour in the Brown Advisory. I mean, this is a seriously deep race.
Yeah, we supplemented him. I thought there was going to be 10 or 11 runners. I thought there'd be a little bit more of an ease in the ground. But here we are now. I still think he's going to run well. Yeah, I think he will certainly outrun his price, but it is a deep race.
And Ballysax Hank is not that big a price in the Grand Annual. What encouragement can you give me?
He'll certainly be suited by conditions. Jumps really well. He's plenty pace, and what he'll do from the back of the last line, I'm not sure. But he should run very well. But
you've got Adragul as well in that race. He's been nibbled at big odds.
Yeah, he'll love the ground. He was a winner in Leopardstown on Christmas on nice ground and ran well at the DRF on slow ground and probably got there too soon. I think he'll run well. May not be very well handicapped, but should run well.
So a feature of this whole segment last year was that every time we spoke you said, well, the horse I really fancy, so I know the way you're thinking in the Gold Cup. We know what happened next. Can you come here this week with any sort of encouragement, do you think?
I definitely have some sort of encouragement. To say I'm bullish about him, I'm not. It's only a month ago he was lying at the back of the last after a tired fall in Leopardstown, but he has every day since then he's taken a step forward, but he'll need to have done that. You would just love to have run really well at the DRF and build on that, but that wasn't the case. He's certainly he's going to run well. Is that good enough to win? I don't know.
Do you think there were bits and pieces in that run before he fell that gave you any hope that he was on his way back?
Yeah, there was. I expected him to get tired, and on the whole he jumped okay, and travelled okay, and ran a decent race down to the second last and got tired from the back of it, which I expected him to do, and it was just very unfortunate he got a tired fall at the last.
And who else would you be really hopeful of this week?
Only by Night in the Mare's Chase.
Yeah. Is she back?
She is, yeah, she's in great form. Obviously, step up to 2.5 is an unknown, but I do think that she will stay.
And that form from last year is working out so well.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, I think she's certainly a player.
All righty, well, good luck.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, well, have a look at a little bit of yesterday, day one, through the time form lens, and think about the rest of the week as well. Dan Barber is back with me down here on the gallops. Morning.
Morning.
Did you survive the day all right yesterday?
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. There was a sort of slight trough in the middle. I thought a couple of races, perhaps, bar Lossiemouth might not live up to expectations. That's obviously pocket talk.
Was the Fred Winter, as you said, a bit of a passion killer for you midway through the afternoon?
Well, yeah, slightly, I suppose. Particularly because I quite like the 6 of Skeltons, who finished like a train and finished 6 when there was first 5 places.
That's not going to make your all-time betting diary, that story, is it?
It's not.
Don't lead with that.
It was a
great day. The day I didn't get one into 6th in the Fred Winter, says Dan Barber.
And when you're shouting get 5th, it's a bad sign. But yeah, I thought the day ended with a really sparkling performance as well. Not really been spoken about. What Holloway Queen?
Holloway Queen.
Quite aggressively ridden, chasing Peak Rock. The race was blown apart.
One day she'll be Henderson's Grand National winner, won't she? Finally,
she might be, because she's gone from sort of not really going anywhere to suddenly flourishing. And yeah, that was good yesterday. She's basically a pattern class mare.
I had a complete mental block that it was James Bowen's first winner. I got there in the end. But like I had it in my head somewhere.
Well.
Yeah, and I had it in my head somewhere that he'd ridden one somewhere down the line for Henderson's, but he hadn't.
Like a Lucia or something.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, he didn't, and it was great for him, and hopefully Sean can join him before the end of the week, and it was great to see Mum so pleased as well. You've got something, a little interesting factoid about the Supreme Novices.
Yeah, well, obviously yesterday, the first renewal since that stellar renewal that's always held up as one of the greatest, the race that we saw Alpha off, Lower the Colours of Spirit Sun, Sprinter Sacra, Q-Card back in 4th, the champion bumper winner. That was 2011. First time there's been a British 1, 2, 3, 4 since then.
Imagine finding 2 horses to beat Q-Card and Sprinter
Crazy.
Sacra.
I know. I suppose you'd only put the Alti or Min renewal even close to that in recent times. But a positive sign. It's definitely impacted the markets, I think, for the later novice hurdles. People suddenly thinking, talk about small sample size, oh, well, maybe the British have got the stronger novices. And another thing to note is just how the pictures change. So go back to 2000 to 2010, Nick. Horses that ran in the Supreme, looking at which festival race did they run in the following season. Back in the day, that was, in 68% of cases, was another hurdles race. Supreme winners staying over hurdles. Since then, since 2011, that's down to 39.
Really?
Running chases the following season. Horses that have run in the Supreme. Definitely gives you an insight into how that dynamic is
He'll
changed.
be going chasing, won't he, Old Park Star?
Well, yeah, I looked through that field yesterday. Why would it be different next year? Old Park Star, My Daddy Paddy, Mighty Park. We stood next to him yesterday. He's like a drawing.
Sober Glory. Might have another crack at another season over hurdles with him.
I think he's the most likely, the principals for sure. Another thing, actually, when you talk about the champion hurdle, during that same period I mentioned, so the first 10 years of the century, the number of horses and their appearances in champion hurdles averaged about 3. Horses were coming back for another go each year. It's now down to 1.3. So horses just aren't staying hurdling. Chasing's the seemingly the be all and end all. A lot of them have obviously bought for chasing, and I think it speaks as well of that supply line from the flat being slightly snuffed out in recent times.
That's really interesting. The champion hurdle itself, I was doing a bit last night with AP McCoy for Hills, and I felt a bit mean because was this a great champion hurdle, yes or no? Well, obviously the answer is no by historical ratings standards, but there's nothing not to admire and appreciate in Lossiemouth, who was really brilliant yesterday. Well, her turn of foot was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and she just capitalised. I thought everything went great. They couldn't have asked for a better setup. New Line was stuck a bit wide. They got away from him. He was never coming back at that point. And yeah, in terms of rating, she's level with Etait, who obviously in the McManus Silks, a couple of pounds behind Honeysuckle's Peak, way behind Annie Power. So yeah, like ratings wise, she's not an all-time great, but she is in terms of coming back and winning 4 festival races, because we've been posting the list on socials lately. Obviously Quavega leading the way with 6. 5 is very infrequent, and there aren't many who've done 4 either, and she's young enough to think she might be back for more, and there could be a Honeysuckle route to secure that 5th. What if she dips back into the mares race next season? Sorry about that.
You are a mischievous man.
Sorry.
Surely not. Surely not.
No, I'm sure they'll go champion.
It's the 100th champion hurdle next year as well.
Yeah,
I bumped into Rich Ritchie last night and he was telling me that.
that's momentous, and I'm sure that's... And not that these people that are driven and at the very top of the sport need an extra incentive, but when one appears, as we see with Aidan on the flat, something's peaked, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Today, we've got a lot of runners. And of course, Wednesday was the thin day and the crowds were down. And, well, they should be back today.
Yeah, and just a point of fact on that, obviously you exclude the year where there was the high winds and 10 races run in a day. Biggest entry for a Cheltenham Festival day since the Wednesday of 2009. So, again, we can be reactive, can't we, in all sports, but doom and gloom a year ago, these novices aren't filling. We've got a maximum field for the turners today.
That's nuts, isn't it?
We've had a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Britain in the Supreme that was unexpected, and we've got more runners on this day than we've had for 15, 16 years.
Isn't it interesting? I don't know. We've still got, all the same Mullins horses out here, or many.
I
want
to say Mighty Park again.
He's gone. He's gone home.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
But it's funny how you got a real sense of serenity down here this morning compared to that absolutely frenetic buzz that there was yesterday morning.
Yeah, and I suppose that there's a huge contrast between this and when you're in the middle of it as well as the days unfolding.
Yeah. Alrighty, Dan. Well, I enjoy your company today as ever, and hopefully you'll be back down to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, same time tomorrow. Thanks,
Excellent.
Nick.
Good man. Well, no major festival would be quite the same without the mighty Hewick, who is behind us here, and it's something a little bit different for him this year. A trip round in the Stayers Hurdle tomorrow, Thursday. Shark Hanlon is with me, and he's had a little wind up, Shark.
Yeah, I'm delighted with it.
Yeah?
Like sometimes you get them wind jobs done and they don't work. But it definitely worked with this lad, so it did, which makes big difference. Even Gavin Sheehan was talking to him yesterday, and he said, "Did you get the wind on?" I said, "I did." That makes a big difference to the horse, he said.
And do you think that's always been catching him a little bit?
Always.
And that's why he was hitting a bit of a flat spot?
Yeah, and just that he's the kind of a horse that he hits a flat spot every day, but he might still hit that, but there's no noise now. And Paddy rode him in Newbury, and he just said to me, "Come back in," he says, "Dad, the wind is catching him." Now the ground was soft, the wind is catching him. Thanks be to God there's no soft here, and it don't look like we're going to get any rain until tomorrow even, so it can rain on it like after that.
So he'll actually have his ground at a spring festival.
Yeah.
How much does it mean to all of you that Paddy's able to ride him in a big race like this? I don't know he's ridden him before, but in a race of this calibre.
Well, it is amazing. So my mother is coming.
Is she?
Yeah, and Rachel's mother is coming, so he's going to have his two grannies here that never ever go racing.
Oh, no pressure, then. Yeah.
But it's just great they're all coming, and it's great. Listen, to have Paddy here, he got a ride. Sid Hosey gave him a ride there yesterday, and he tipped around and saw the place. And so listen, it's great for us that we have him coming along there, so that someday he'll take my shoes and belt away.
How far away is that, do you think? Not too soon, hopefully. I don't want to try and finish you off.
No, I hope to. If I had a couple of years now, he's over in England now getting experience, and he was with Nicky Henderson now. He's gone to Paul Nichols, and he's going to do another couple of months around here and there, and he's going to stay with Paul anyway for as long as he can. And
how's he finding it?
He loves it.
Does he?
Absolutely loves it. And Sid Hosey is very good to him. He's after giving him 3 or 4 winners there in the last month. So, and he's very good to me. Gave him a ride here yesterday. So, and he's up beside Paul. So they're all a little happy family up there. So that's the way to keep it.
Genuinely, what do you think this horse is capable of now?
I think he could win. I really fancy him. I really, really fancy him. I really, really fancy him. So I do. He's got his ground, and he'll stay. Don't think there'll be much pace in the race. So I'm very happy.
Every time I think this book is closed, you come and write another chapter.
Yeah, well, I think the chapter's there still.
All right. Well, good luck. It's lovely to see him. He always brings so much to these occasions. He looks in magnificent nick, and all the best.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, Shark. All right, it's Wednesday, so I'm a day late going around the Bloodstock World, but I'm heading to South Africa today. It seems a world away from Cheltenham. Pippa Mickleburgh is the director of Race Coast Sales. Pippa's had an amazing career in the sport, as you'll hear in a few moments' time. And I began by asking her whether she, like everybody else, would have her eyes trained on Cheltenham, and particularly the South African interest in Etait. The big sales in South Africa. just round the corner. And we like to feature these. We used to know them as the Cape Sales. They're now the Race Coast Sales. And sales director Pippa Mickleburgh is with me now. Pippa, you will be keeping quite a close eye on proceedings at Cheltenham, won't you, from afar?
Oh, definitely. The Kieswetters are good friends of mine. And in fact, when the farm that I managed for so many years closed down, the breeding operation, the Kieswetters bought all our horses at Avontier. So they bought my 35 years of dreams, and it's now with them. So yes, I'll be following from afar.
And I suppose for the bulk of your racing life, that's what people would have known you for, the development and fame of Avontier. Tell us a little bit about your time there.
So I was there for 35 years, and I suppose it was a wonderful ride. We had the beautiful stallion Var, which has now obviously become famous now because of the grandsire of Autumn Glow, carrying our flag around the world. It was a boutique wine estate, restaurant, hotel. We ran 30 mares, the best in the land. And it was a pleasure and an honor to work for them. But time goes on and the new generation came in. Dad passed away, who originally employed me. And I think they've got different ideas for different things to be done on the farm. So it was the time to end. And as I said, all the mares are very lucky to be owned by the Kieswetter family now.
And am I right in thinking that before Avontier, you'd actually spent a bit of time with the great Henry Cecil for a while? Is that right?
I did, actually. I worked pre-training for him in Newmarket many, many years ago when I was young. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot about life from the late great governor. Yeah,
I bet you did.
Yeah.
What struck you most about being around him?
Attention to detail and his value of his staff, something that I've tried to do wherever I go and what I do. He was strict in his ways, but he realized that he could not be successful if the staff he employed were not great, passionate about their jobs. And he trusted everybody to do their job. And I remember clearly phoning him one day and telling him a filly must come in. And he said, no, it's too early. I said, no, Governor, it must come in. And he said, okay, bring it, send it. So I think I learned that from him, and attention to detail. Every horse's legs, every single night were touched by a senior personnel. Every night, 306, it was amazing. And care to the people, the human, the horse. Wonderful. Learned a lot.
Yeah, what a pleasure that must have been. And then so much of your life spent quite hands-on with the horse. To what extent do you get that now?
No, not much now. I've obviously had to change course a little bit, which I'm actually enjoying. But what I'm doing now is managing a few little different things. So I've got a couple of mares that I manage their breeding careers of that moved with me to boarding farms now that I've moved from Avontier. And now I've got two little studs that are growing. So I'm helping them build, develop, buy mares. So I'm doing a little bit of consultancy. But obviously my main job here is to help build the sales in Kenilworth, Hollywood Bets Kenilworth, and make it grow. That's my goal now.
And how's that going?
It's been interesting, actually. It's funny being on the other side of the fence. I've always been a vendor, and now I'm on this side. So I'm getting everything from both sides. But so far, so good. A great team. As I said to you a few minutes ago, I'm a great leader. I think I lead well, but I've got a great team, and they're passionate, and they will go to the ends of the earth to make it work. Yeah.
And there, as we've heard, there are still families and entities in South Africa who are putting their shoulder to the wheel to try to make this work. Are you seeing an increase in the quality of stock, or at least are you seeing good stock being sustained?
I think we definitely are low on numbers. COVID hit us hard. A lot of mares were taken out of the system. So we're a bit low on numbers, but I think the quality is still good. There's still some great benefactors who are continually upgrading mare bands and stallions and things like that. But I think the quality I saw, obviously, again, I've never seen so many yearlings. I mean, I inspected over 340 yearlings with Rick from New Zealand, who's done it a few years now, Rick Wiley. So it was interesting. I think the quality is good enough. I think we need more mares. We need to improve our mare band. But there's a work in progress, and everybody's trying extremely hard. Yeah.
And just tell me a little bit about the duration of these sales. If people want to watch on from afar, how can they do that?
So it's all on, obviously, it will be on the link on the website. You'll be following it by Zoom. You can bid by Zoom, but you can follow it on the website. The horses have started arriving, but the bulk of the horses will be in by tomorrow. It's at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth, so it's a beautiful, I don't know if you've ever been there, it's a beautiful race course, the mountain and the greenery of the Western Cape. And it's not a sale venue, so we've had to make it a sale venue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very quaint, it's very pretty. The horses arrive today and viewing starts tomorrow. And the sale is Friday from 4 o'clock and Saturday from midday. It's a 2-day sale, not day 1, day 2. It's just 2 days alphabetically and 270 horses.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how you get on. Pippa, thanks so much for talking to us. And I know you'll be cheering on Etait in tomorrow's Japanese shows.
Definitely will do. And obviously keeping an eye on Autumn Glow, keeping us in the limelight down under.
Yeah,
thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
What a superstar she is. Thanks, Pippa. Thanks.
Thank you. Good night.
This is the place you want to be today. It's Baltic outside. We're into the shopping village with our resident artist, Liz Armstrong. Liz, did you have a good day yesterday?
Yes, I did. It was very, very busy. Lots of good feedback.
And you've sold that piece that we featured. There's a red dot. Look at that.
Quite a lot of people that came on the stand, listened to your podcast.
Beautiful.
Came along and obviously she won the big race.
So it all worked out.
Lossiemouth. It all worked out well.
Good. And today's featured piece is this. This is called Taking Risks 3, part of a series, obviously. Now this is the signature Liz Armstrong horsehair.
Horsehair.
Within the texture of the painting.
Within the texture of the painting. It's applied before the actual paint goes on. Mm-hmm. But the inspiration for this image, or the whole painting, it's basically, well, he still is my iconic jockey, and that's A.P. McCoy.
Does he know that?
He hasn't seen this picture. He's seen quite a few of mine because the way he rides, but also he spent 20 years taking risks. He wouldn't have got personally where he was. He's of that kind of mind factor where he takes chances and takes risks. So I sourced this image and it's him crouching. It's his style of riding. But I also like the shapes. It's quite abstract. It's very in your face, and the horsehair gives it more dramatisation.
You've used the horsehair to effectively create the effect of a fence almost.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
It's very clever.
Also, I'm a big fan of an artist called Ansley Kiefer. He's a German artist and he does huge textural paintings. But when I was at Goldsmiths, I used to use a lot of texture in my art there. But horsehair, obviously, we're working with horses. People collect horsehair for me. This is from my Fens horse. But it has a dramatic effect and it's almost like a cross-hatching when you stand back.
Yeah.
Could be like
It's extraordinary.
Liz,
thank you so much. Oil pigment horsehair charcoal on canvas, Taking Risks 3. Come and see this Elizabeth Armstrong fine art in stall number
21.
21.
Lucky
folks. For some.
21, lucky for some.
In the shopping village.
Yes, I'll be here all day and it'd be nice to see everybody.
Well, thank you to Philippa, our friends at Weatherbys, and everyone who's contributed to today's programme, including, of course, our very own Charlotte Greenway and Josh Stacey for all their hard work. And we will try and bring you tomorrow's podcast in similarly timely fashion. Hope you're enjoying it down here at Cheltenham this week. We certainly are. That was Wednesday, the 11th of March. You've been listening to Nick Luck Daily. Thanks for listening. This edition has been brought to you by Timeform, your trusted source for racing data and analysis, by Total Performance Data, the global leader in live horse racing data, and by FitzDares, laying some of the world's largest sporting wagers since 1882.